Hold on, we recording? Hold on, wait. I'm not ready yet. Let me give me some wine. Okay, we ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello and welcome. Cheers to each and every one of you playing this episode. Don't forget to stay in the know, to look out for our social media posts on Facebook and Instagram. The links are in the episode notes. Yo, check it. Just kidding. What's up, y'all? I am back with another episode. The girl is tuned in and ready to unload the things that we are talking about today. I do want to just give you guys a heads up and just say that this message today will probably not be as long as the other ones, but then again, I don't know how God gonna switch it up and twist it around, you know what I'm saying? Let me clear my throat because I want y'all to hear me clearly. Okay. So if you guys have heard the last episode, which was titled Conditioned, as you guys know, I am doing a 21-day fast. Let me take a sip of my water, y'all, because my throat is just like, Okay. Hopefully that is better. If not, it's fine. The devil's just always coming for me when I get ready to record my episodes, but we're not going to be distracted. And I'm glad this happened because this is the message for today. But anyways, I did talk about just a little bit how I'm doing the 21-day fast, and I decided to just change it up. So, by the way, the title of this episode is called Build a Different Story. So, as I mentioned to you guys, I'm going through a process where I'm just rebuilding myself when it comes to forgiveness and being graceful and having understanding, you know, the things that I promised that I would do for God. So how do I do that if I'm not presented with positions or situations where I have to deal with those things? So in that, I just want to talk about how, I think I kind of hit on it in the last episode a little bit, just about how, you know, distractions are real. Things will be sent to distract you and get you off your focus. But you have to realize that distractions are real. Distractions are honestly a part of our life. We're distracted every day, from social media, from the news, from our music, to the TV, to our kids, work. We're distracted. And while some things can be a good distraction and some things can be a bad distraction, we have to have discernment and know that sometimes things are actually sent to literally deter us off of our focus. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I feel like it's so important, because I feel like I'm dealing with a situation where a person was distracted and it was able to impact their life just in a major way, because something that was sent to throw them off track actually succeeded, you know. And I think too, not sometimes, but all the time, distractions are a part of our story, right? Because God knew our story before we even knew it. But that just goes to show, you know, that we have to really pay key attention to the things that are happening to us. So I think, if I can remember, that I did speak on how I had something come up where I had a conversation with my homegirl and something came up about it. And so I literally had to take a step back today and say, okay, what is this? I had to remember what I actually said about this situation. And I was just like, God, this is crazy, because I'm like, one night I brought this conversation up, talked about it, and that was it. It wasn't no intent. It wasn't no anything behind it. It was just mere conversation. The next day, the situation arose, and I was just flabbergasted, because I'm like, what the heck? Like, how? Why? You know, and I think now I'm in a season of why, because I am so trying to stay focused that everything to me is a distraction. So it's just like, because I am fasting. And I think too, that's another thing. When you're fasting, you have to really pay attention to the things that are going on, because you're spending time with God. Like this week, I'm on week 2. So I'm fasting, and I'm fasting from TV. I have not watched TV since Sunday. The only time I don't even look at the TV, but when my son is watching his Paw Patrol or Curious George or whatever other shows he's tended to, those are the top 2 though. Those are really the only 2 that he really pays attention to. But that's the only time the TV is on, but I'm not looking at the TV. If I'm watching something, it's sermons, or if I'm reading the Bible, or I'm listening to podcasts, or something like that. But I haven't listened to any podcast because I was like, I don't want to be distracted. And I kind of discern which sermons I listen to and which ones I don't, because I don't want the wrong thing to be heard at the wrong time, you know? So I think that it's very pivotal of us to just be focused on what's sit against us when we're actually trying to do the right thing. And here I am, you know, working on myself, working on this forgiveness, working on this fast, spending more time with God. And I'm in a season where, because I am fasting, and the first week was from social media. The second week this week I'm doing from TV. And I think next week is from sweets, which probably will be really easy for me because, I don't know, since I've had all this stuff going on, I have not had the need to resort to any sweets like I had the prior weeks and stuff. I was in a phase where I would just eat sweets all day. Like, I don't even have to have food. I would have a cookie and wine. And I'm just like, Jasmine, that is not healthy. But lately, and I think the way God had this fast lined up was just awesome, because at first I was just like, I am gonna crash when it comes to doing the challenge, the fasting from the sweets. But God has really changed that around, because now I think I had one cookie today within the last week or so. And so I'm looking forward to next week, because I'm like, okay, now it's just going to be funny if I just crave that sweetness out of nowhere, because I'm like, okay, that's nothing but a distraction. It's getting me off my course. And then that's crazy because it's the last week of my fast. But anyways, like I said, this one won't be as long, but I just want to key touch on that when things are set to distract you, you have a choice. You have a choice whether you're going to feed into those distractions, and if you do feed into them, how you're going to be about it, how you're going to go about it. And so I'm faced with a situation where I'm kind of trying to figure out, like, do I even want to feed into this, or even speak on how I feel about it, or just let it stay stagnant? And I think the best thing that I can do for both parties involved in this situation is just stay stagnant and not say anything. Because I feel like if I do say something, that's just open more room for communication where it's like, I don't want that. So I think it's just, we're in a season, like I said, this year God is just wanting us to get focused. So there's going to be a lot of things said to distract you from your goals. And I feel like because I can hear God so clearly now, because I don't have any TV on, I really haven't really been listening to music. And if I do, it's gospel. I've been reading my Bible more every day so far. I've been reading something in the Bible. The other night, I think Sunday night, I watched The Prince of Egypt. That was the last thing I watched. No dramas, no soap operas, no reality TV, nothing. The last thing I watched was on Sunday, because my fast restarted on Monday. So I watched The Prince of Egypt Sunday night, and then that was just like, it broke me down. I was just like, girl, what the heck are you crying for? But that was the last thing I watched. And then, I don't know, as I continue to progress in this fast, more things are just unraveling. And I keep asking myself, what is this? What is the motive of this thing coming to me now? I haven't seen this or dealt with this in years, so why is it coming up now? All of a sudden, when I'm so focused and so serious about getting myself on the right track, when I finally have a vision for my life, when I finally have the things that I feel like I have figured out, now all of a sudden, all these things are coming against me, and I feel like things are crumbling. But I have to stay steadfast and don't worry about how it looks, but just worry about the vision that God said. What did God say about it? And then just realize that, okay, sometimes things are just sit to distract you. And I think it's because I am just doing what I said I was going to do, which is just focusing and just thinking about, okay, this fast and how I feel and my emotions and what I need to do, what God's telling me to do. And it's so crazy that I can hear him so clearly, and to know that these things are literally sent to distract me, and to discern that and say, okay, I'm not going to feed into that. It just lets me know that something else is going to come my way. And so then again, you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do? Am I going to feed into this distraction, or am I going to actually just ignore it? And I think that's it. Like that's the episode. I just want you guys to stay focused, because I just thought about how, like, I wanted to entertain this distraction, but then I was just like, what benefit is this? Like, why? Why would I even do that? You know, what would come from this? Nothing good, nothing worthwhile. So I was just like, there's no sense in me. And then that would just distract me from what I'm doing. And then it's just like, if you're in a car, like sometimes, most of the time, well, here lately I haven't been doing that, but I used to just get in a car and drive and talk to the Lord. And have you ever just been like in a thought of prayer, and then all of a sudden you thinking about, oh, I need to order this, or I need to go to the store and get this, or did I leave the door unlocked? Did I lock the door? Did I turn the flat irons off? Did I turn the stove off? Did I turn the kitchen light on? Like all these things, that's a distraction because we're so serious and so focused, excuse me, in that moment that the devil doesn't want us to proceed with that prayer. And that one prayer can be the one that turns your situation around. And so I'm going to tell you guys, I'm good at it. I always get distracted when I'm praying. And I'll literally stop mid-sentence and say, you know what, let me do this real quick. Then I'll say, okay, Lord, I'm sorry. And then I'll get to the store and I'm like, okay, Lord, I'll be back. I'll finish this when I get in the car. And I realize I can't do that because if I'm serious about spending time with God and letting Him know exactly what I need and how I feel and just thanking Him, and sometimes not, most of the time just not even asking for anything, just spending time with Him, I have to make Him a priority because we're a priority. And so I think that that's something that we just need to be mindful of, that distractions is a life thing. It's not abnormal, but the things that are sent to actually literally distract you and deter you from the journey that you're moving on because you are progressing, those can be very detrimental. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that it is key to stay focused and focus on the path that is in front of you. And by doing that, you're building a different story because you, instead of saying, well, this happened and I got distracted and I got deteriorated and now it's taking me 2 years to get where I need to go when I could have got there in 1, and it's taking me 6 months to do something I could have did in 3. And you're really rewriting your own history because you're actually focusing. And then if you do get distracted, just ask for God, say, God, Lord, I'm sorry. I turn back to you. I've just been distracted, but just know that God will give you double for the time that you wasted, and just by, even with, like I said, with forgiveness, forgiving other people. If something happens to you and, holding on to that could be a distraction because you can block your own blessings by having bitterness and hatred and anger towards somebody else, when God really wants you to release it so that He can give you back double of what you lost. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys to stay focused and don't question everything to the point where you're like overthinking, like, oh, this is crazy, this is it, da, 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 da. No, we ain't doing that. But just be mindful, have both eyes open to hear and listen, and just see what it is and why these things are coming to you. The timing is perfect. Like I think I said that in the last episode. Timing is everything. So when things happen at a certain time when you're doing certain things, you have to ask yourself, okay, why is this happening? And that was literally me, because when this situation and the distraction came, I was just like, wait, this is crazy. I literally was talking about this yesterday. Now, literally, not even 24 hours, this thing has literally shown itself in my life. And it's been here for the last couple of days. And I'm just like, why? What do you want? What is this? Why is this happening? And that's when I realized, I said, this is a distraction trying to deter me from my goal, because I have a lot of things that I'm working on and trying to focus on. So I don't want you guys to get deteriorated off your journey because you're focusing on the wrong things. Stay focused. Like I said, life is a distraction. But when the things that are sent to actually distract you do exactly that, and it takes you forever or longer to get the job done, that is not cool. No bueno. So I just want you guys to stay focused and be encouraged. That's all I have for you guys. Like I said, this wasn't going to be too long. It was longer than what I thought it was going to be, honestly, because I was rambling on saying the same thing, but I want you guys to get it because it literally took me a long time to really do this. And I feel like, too, I remember stating, like, I just do the same things over and over. The same things happen over and over. And it's because I fed into those things. And so this year, the same things are trying to come back around. And I was like, ain't happening. Try somebody else. And hopefully you try them, it won't prosper, because we're not wasting no time. We getting closure. We not being conditioned, and we are staying focused because we are working on building a different story. So I'll see you guys on the next podcast episode. Remember, stay focused. Thank you for listening. I hope you stay tuned for more episodes. Remember, being grateful makes you gorgeous.